hello. Hello, hello, hello. It is I, Jack of Cat. Oh boy, my YouTube background video hit start by accident. I apologize. I was watching Loading Ready Run. Very good channel. They make fun Magic the Gathering videos. Oh my goodness. Ah, okay. There we go. That's why. I forgot to put this on mute. I always have a browser open just in case somebody sends me a link and stuff. All right. So yeah, as you can see by the title, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. We're gonna be playing more Elma because I like Elma. Hello, is this John? No, this is On. Is anyone here? Am I all alone? Is anyone there? I need a bigger gun. Please wake me up. Don't want to sound cliche.
We're stuck in a different planet.
We're stuck in a different planet. I don't know how much we can handle. We gotta find our ways to keep standing. A bigger gun. Alright, I would load my regular save file, but there's definitely a lot of spoilers. And I'm just looking for one Elma picture to show. And I'm not gonna spoil it because I know there's...
King meat Rhydon.
Oh.
Pawn with a meat Rhydon.
Pawn with a meat Rhydon. I gotta see if the YouTube icons got approved or not. I haven't gotten an email from YouTube, even though they say like, "Oh, we'll email you when your thing is approved." Blah 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 blah.
That is true. I mean, if Red Chat is up and awake, you guys can test it out.
If there's a join button, then it might be working. If there isn't, then we're still waiting.
Yeah, I don't see your thingies. Oh, get a pro transcription? Oh no, that's different. That's a whole different thing that is on my end only.
Oh. Hold on, I'm trying to find a neat portrait. And the problem is that they're all neat. And I've also gone ahead and deleted a lot of these screenshots because I had maxed out my Switch's memory, and it wouldn't let me clip anything because it was just filled with random Elma clips. It sucks that the game does not have a theater mode like Xenoblade 1 through 3. Because there's just a lot of moments I would like to. Alright, there we go. Hold on, just because Pawn is there. There you go. So yeah. Setting up all the rest over here just to make sure we're ready to record. There we go. We're stuck watching your other tomboy wife. I stand correct. What do you mean? Other?
Sorry, Chad. Elma is not a tomboy.
What would you say Elma is?
A dummy mommy?
I mean, I've always said that she's definitely more of the teen mom archetype. I was typing on Leezer. Yeah, but you said other. As if implying that her was a tomboy or that I always had a different tomboy as the character. Therefore, no, none. Bum 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 bum. I love this game so much. But yeah, it's basically gonna be Albert is recording footage. Gabe is here as well.
Could be me.
We don't have to talk about Xenoblade. Just pretend that this is background for me. We can talk about anything else. Oh, whoa. It's hard to explain in written form, so I'm gonna let you have this one. I win.
Yes, we win.
I win. I win one.
And when you win, I win. And when you lose, I win.
No matter what happens, Gabe wins.
Exactly.
Alright, stat, survey 20% of Noctilum. Complete a friend in need affinity mission. Brothers and son, a friend in need. Oh, wow. Great. The moment you say I win, stream froze. Yeah, it froze because I knew that chat wouldn't be able to handle an L, so I had to freeze it for you guys.
Oh, the Chlorian archaeologist, the Neil Nail, so interesting.
Flute guy intensifies, yeah. Gosh, can't wait to go. We gotta do exploration on flute. How much is my? %. And I needed a what, 10?
Think so?
20%. Shit.
Yeah, you only have 8. We'll start fucking planting some things.
Yeah, let's go walk around in Noctilum, guys. That's part of the stream. Oh, Professor B? Hold on. Pipsqueak. Is that
Yes,
the water
Red
pump?
Chat. We're doing Xenoblade eggs.
Alright, no, hold on. We gotta do the water plant mission first.
Are you gonna do the water plant mission first?
Yes.
I didn't do that one until I get the scale.
The water plant one?
Yeah.
Why? How come?
Oh, because it makes those fights a lot easier.
True, I suppose. I'm gonna do it. It's just because it unlocks the outfit I like to use on my cross, which is the new maintenance gear. Tom, what are you talking about? It's not like I specifically told you that the water is cursed at this planet. Also, it is funny that the quest is given by a lady called Ahua. Ahua. Get it? It's agua in English. In Spanish, I mean.
Yes.
Wa'a.
Oh boy. Such excitement. Such excitement. Look, oh, so neat, yes.
Right, we'll do the water plant. And then after that, I'll go explore Noctilum. Alright, side, water, close.
Hey.
Begun living with the Manon. Something that we need as much as food, perhaps even more. Well, as I'm reading this, I'm taking a sip every time I see water.
All
right.
Is that a drinking game?
Yeah, I'm gonna make it a drinking game that every time somebody mentions something of water, I'll take a sip just to stay hydrated. See, a lake. Route for us once we can ship the necessary materials. Project.
Like it's a body of water, so take a sip.
Yeah, I already did.
Take another one, you coward.
Okay. There, I did it.
Good.
Gosh, this game is just too big.
It is.
But it's big in a sense where I had more fun than other games because I'm progressively being given more toys to play with in the 100 hours of exploration. There is just, yeah, Ton, there is just so much to do.
Shadow strike. Get in close and land a blow.
And Pun has barely started.
Take this. Slide.
Where are you at? Are you still in chapter... post chapter 6?
Appreciated.
Gabe?
I am past 6, I think I'm 8 or 9.
Oh, sweet.
Shadow strike.
So close to that flight unit.
Appendage destroyed.
I should be, yeah.
Appreciated. Okay, it's time to attack.
Alright, this is where we become a problem.
Myopic screen.
Go, Elma.
An aura right now might lead to good things.
I'm putting an end to this.
Let's prove the ganglion why they wanted to... why we were a problem. Yeah, no, it's definitely a game that you want to take your time with.
Stay in this.
We'll put a sock on them.
I'm putting an end to this. All the difference.
Mindstorm.
Look at her go, she's so cool. So cool. Oh, L was in overdrive. Let's go. Let's go. Doing affinities and green quests and basics for the time being. Yeah, I mean, it's the game is definitely one that does promote slower gameplay for some people, just because there's just so much to do. You're constantly learning new things, and there's so much to experiment with like what you can do for a build that I just think really lends itself a lot for that slow and steady playthrough.
Appreciations.
Alright. Elma, do your thing.
Shadow stone. They fell for it. Get it? Now we can then.
As you say, El.
We're on top of this now.
Oh, 100 chills and mortal enemy? Sweet.
Blood sacrifice. That's not dent in 'em. I hope you're ready. Keep the rhythm going. Follow me. Overdrive. Leave this to me.
So I just found out that Fantasy Life has local co-op,
Oh, sweet.
and if you can put another controller, you play as a bird.
Oh, fuck off. I want to be the bird. L more like W. Definitely. L is definitely more of a W. If I talk to someone about Xenoblade X and L is not in their top list, I'll still talk with them. But I will very much squint my eyes semi-judgingly at any other thing they might say in terms of an opinion regarding the game. No, Pawn. He's not the best. He's the... He's in a 4-way tie for second best. Don't forget who is best.
Sup?
The road to New LA is clear, but the site is still filled with crawling uglies. Other supply is a problem. We lost shipment of building materials in an attack a while back, and we need to replace them. Toot sweet. If you could take care of one of those two, it'd be a huge help. I'ma clear the site. I want to be a problem. Oh, so Pun, I'm using the build I sent you on the Discord wall that one day about the Elma Infinite Overdrive.
Blood sacrifice.
Falling asleep? Having fun. Have fun, fellas. Thank you, Mewtwo. I hope you have a nice night. I'll see you around. I need to look over it tonight.
Maybe soon we'll do more Hutata.
Yeah, maybe soon we'll do more Hutata. I've been having fun, but I'm also just trying to... I'm playing around to see how the schedule is going to be. What days are just bits for stream? What days am I going to say for, like, today, recording stuff for the channel?
Why do we need to keep it with the tomboy jokes?
Engaging. Lay down some fire. Doing better.
Oh yeah, and of course, Vaughn, if you need help with any parts of the build, just let me know.
I'm putting it in. Follow me. Overdrive. I owe you one.
You won't be disappointed. Shooting star! We must attend to ourselves first.
Goes factory.
Much appreciation. We'll put a lock on them.
Now, melee attack. I'm putting it in. Follow me. Overdrive.
Iron prison.
Not over yet.
Mindstorm.
Hurry, man. Use the strength to keep everyone safe.
Our head is spinning.
Primer. Too easy.
Silly indigents, my name is Elma. I'm here to cause troubles.
Look at us.
I'm
We're
putting
on
an
a
end to
stroke.
this.
Our head is spinning. It's not over until the fat baby sings.
Melee attacks. I owe you one.
Let's go, El. Do the thing, El. Hey, El did the thing. There we go. Yeah, I just like playing as Elma. That's the problem. I mean, sorry, that's not a problem.
It's never a problem.
It's never a problem. Casual collector. I love this bumbling idiot too much. Wait a minute, I forgot to do one important thing that I always forget doing. Stream it on Gabe's end.
Streaming, yes.
Look at him go doing his silly little dance.
Thanks.
I have some clips of him spin. I need to see this.
Bing.
Spin. Also, Pawn, when do you return? For the lizards. Water? There we go. Some killer booze. Booze is liquid. Liquid is water. Sip. Oh, there's water again. June 17th. Alright.
What's wrong, puppy? I hear puppy. What's wrong? What's wrong?
If anything, that works better for me, because that way it's a longer break from 14. Until, like, of course, the event caught off. There's the make it rate campaign going on, but imagine being me, Check of Cat, who has most of basically all the things I wanted from the Golden Saucer. And Yoshi P could not be bothered to put anything new on the Golden Saucer despite the 4 expansions that have come out.
Right. I'll be back. I need to feed the puppy.
Go ahead. Please take care of my lizard while I'm away. Sure, of course. Of course I will. That's it means to be saying. You'll be missing the 9,999 card. I mean, I'm resubbing a few days before it ends just to get the card. But we can always buy it again next year. It's not like they'll put in a fucking reward with it anymore because they haven't done it for the past expansion. Which, like, realistically speaking, if they added a new reward for, like, the Jack of Card, I'd want either a minion that's the, you know, a couple of triple triad decks flying around, and then for the auto animation, it's like the little shuffling effect or the 1, 2, 3 effect. Have it floating around you, kind of like the little selecting hand that you get for the achievements. If not, a framers kit that is just the fucking triple triad stuff, because why isn't there a framers kit of the triple triad stuff? Or an emote that has your character like doing a magic trick or shuffling cards, but I guess they'll just put that in the cash shop, you know? Well, it's silly stuff like that what I want. They could give me a triple triad like earring and I would get it. Water, I gotta drink again. Or, you know, a playing triad emote. Yeah, like, I would love just being able to pull out my deck and, like, either pretend I'm playing triple triad, like, so it'd be cool for G-posing and raids or when waiting for AFK and stuff like that. Or just a simple, like, shuffling animation, sort of like if it were a trading card deck, you know? Your character's just playing shuffle, it's just shuffling a deck, and you can put it on loop. In case they don't want to put the triple triad playing animation as an emo so it doesn't confuse players with who, oh, that guy's not playing triple triad, he's doing something, but how
We saw this coming.
I knew you did it. I love you, L, so much. Same when you play an actual triple triad game. Yeah, I mean, that's the bare minimum, but like, oh, hey, look.
Hey, look who it is. Whoa. Will he ever stop excelling?
This is the point of the stream where I point at the screen, and I point him in while gaining Americ's attention.
Have you come for the best?
Yes, the best, of course. She's right behind us, HB. Here, Amric, just for you, I'm not gonna accept HB this time.
Lovely.
Alright, let me stop that part of the recording. Ooh, nah. Ooh. There it is. Maintenance wet. There's three key reasons, that I like using this suit in particular. Number one, it is Blade theme, so it fits well with the rest of the sort of NLA inhabitants. Number two, it's a full armor set that's new to the definitive edition, so I wasn't able to play with this in the original game, therefore way more fun for me. C, it reminds me of one of the outfits that Mayor Kusanagi had in the Ghost in the Shell film. Would have been nice to see the city developed as you progress, just like Colony 6. Yes, but here's my reason of why I'm okay with it. Number one, it's the game is more about exploring, and I feel that NLA
As for Blake,
expands more in the sense of the people that you let into the city and the new stories that unfold within the city. B, when you take into account the fact that this was a limited budget rush to Wii U game, and you see, well, everything else that they focus on developing, I'll take that L gladly. And then D, a difference from like Xenoblade 1, where in the story of Xenoblade 1, it's more like the Mechon are attacking certain areas, but like once you defeat Sword, like the Mechons don't come back to deal trouble onto Colony 6, so you can afford to begin rebuilding, because it's not like in Xenoblade X where the Ganglion are closely approaching and, you know, making attacks and stuff on NLA, which just crashed, and you want to maybe spend resources on first making a sustainable future on the planet before you expand more of the city type of stuff. So that's the way I took it. It's perhaps if Monolith Soft ever went back to Xenoblade X, it's definitely something I want to see in a sequel. You know? Level 19. Oblivious. Noctilum. But I'm not the level. Noctilum, but I don't want to do Bose. Because I don't want to give aim rate the satisfaction. Primoria. Silvalum. I know Alexis is in Silvalum as well, right? Yeah. Right, but I'll just go explore Noctilum to get that
Am I right?
whoa!
Frontier Nav up, and maybe we can use
As
that
for
to
Blake.
chat a little bit more. If not,
Hey,
I can do the affinity mission I have to do to continue the story anyways. Bose, how about no? Fine, I'll grab it. May, is that you? Oh yeah, it's May. Yardley. I need the Yardley to unlock the... A House of Cards quest. Aside House of Cards. 1. Off the record, definitely. But I'm gonna need scale flying for off the record. I don't know how I'm gonna fucking climb some of those places without the scale flight. But I'd just rather have it than randomizing this to find it. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. Hey Pawn, how's the soundtrack treating you? I think the best way I could describe Xenoblade X's soundtrack sometimes is like Stockholm OST. If you're the type of people who doesn't like it in the beginning, because you'll hear it so often that you'll just come to naturally love it. The Manon sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks? Man, why you gotta be so mean? The Manon can't help it if they sound like that. It's not their fault. Have you heard of this other Metroid YouTuber called That Metroid Guy? Of course, I've heard a lot of them. I watched their videos as well. of him, I should say. I've tried a few times, maybe try and get in contact to maybe do a collab or something like that, but I never heard back, so I won't like be the annoying guy who tries to overly contact people. But I've always been happy to or open to make collab videos with others. I've tried in the past, but I never had much luck contacting or making contact, I should say, with anybody else. And for those that I've been able with, it's just more of like a schedule conflict and stuff like that. So, like, you know, I'm still open for the idea. I'll maybe try it again in the future, but yeah. But yes, I have, and stuff like I'm usually also looking up other Metroid videos as a way to just entertain my mind, hear other people's thoughts and stuff like that. But I haven't had much luck.
Stay alert.
Establishing like a contact with other content creators. Aside from like the Metroid trainer, shoutouts to Ed, and stuff like that we've been able to work in the past. But with that said, as I've mentioned, I would not be opposed to making a video or stuff like that. This entire soundtrack is mostly an acquired taste. I agree. And I think that the reason for that, like, I've been thinking about this game for a while, because outside of Metroid, this is my favorite video game. And I think that part of the reason the soundtrack can be such all over the place acquired taste for in general is that I found a sort of behind the scenes of Stawano like commenting about his work in the soundtrack. I think that had come out shortly after X's launch, and he said in that part of the reason he had a lot of fun working with Xenoblade Chronicles X specifically was that it allowed him a lot of freedom to just do whatever he wanted sound-wise and just explore the different themes and topics that the game wanted to touch and find ways that he can sort of reflect that sort of culture pot that NLA becomes and Mira becomes with how you expand it and you start meeting all these other races and stuff like that. That he went on and said that it was probably one of his favorite soundtracks to make. So I think that it really helps the game just have that sense of its own identity, because most of the team had that creativity to just do whatever they wanted. So like, he didn't have to make a cinematic score to go for like Gundam Unicorn or Attack on Titan or something overly bombastic all the time for like Kill la Kill, which he did afterwards. If anything, he said that this game helped them find his not the exact word, but like his sound, his groove, and his type of music he would like to do. During the afternoon. Reading the quest explains the quest. I'm also trying to record basically this game so that way when Prime 4 comes out, it's not something else I have on my plate.
Wonderful.
Oh, sweet, this is it. Man, I was going to be hosed like a driveway without this baby. Suppose we should talk reward, huh? What do you say I just transfer it to you later, since it's so much? Wait, what? You were the one who... Oh man, I didn't even notice. I should have spent more time looking at your face, I guess. And so you do remember. Suppose that's unsurprising. Guess I have some explaining to do, huh? But we can't talk here. Too many years or something. Meet me at night in the lowest level beneath the administrative district standards. I'll pay you what I owe then, including for all the stuff you just did. Until then. Alright, there it is. Late at night. Oh, in this game, I made it to the final act of Chapter 13. I haven't started. Oh, excuse me, I haven't started yet. I might start it, maybe this weekend or some other night that I find more time because I want to do some side quests before I start that sort of point of no return. I know that the game puts you back in the map again once you complete the final chapter, but you know, there might be a few things I want to gather before I go to that part. Yeah, the chance to customize my mim. Yeah, we're unlocking that. It's pretty cool. Shame you can change your name. But I am assuming you cannot change it just because that's, you know, part of the Switch Online side of things. I don't know if Pawn is still here on the stream, but if you didn't know about this quest, Pawn, I would recommend doing it. The reward is basically the infinite Fantasia. You gotta love that Yarley puts on a fucking bow tie and all this other stuff just to hide his identity.
There you are.
I've been waiting for you. I believe this is a first time meeting, correct? Eh, aren't you the smart one? Well, I guess you know it's good old Yarley. So I know you have some doubts, but I promise it was always me you've been meeting with. I just changed my appearance. So, you know the keycard you found for me? Well, it activates a life pod I work so desperately to repair. You see, we humans are basically just souls housed in mimeosomes, which are little more than a temporary vessel. But with this situation comes a kind of freedom. The freedom to change the vessel at will. The mimeosome maintenance center is full of life pods, but they all reserved for clinical applications. Us normal yokels aren't allowed near them. Which means that this is the only life pod where people can rebuild their bodies to suit their whims. I expect you have your doubts about the process, but I stand as proof of the results. My consciousness has been successfully transplanted into an entirely new body. I was lucky to stumble into a life pod with only minor damage at the south end of the city. And crossing your paths was another stroke of luck, seeing as you've helped me out twice now. And at the end of that string of serendipity is my golden opportunity to strike it rich. New LA's wealthiest will be clamoring to use my machine. I said clamoring. Oh, but you're welcome to use it for free whenever you want. Let's just say it's a way to settle up my outstanding debts. So, what do you say? Interested? Yeah, sure. Wonderful. Then from this point on, we're square. I have only two stipulations for our agreement. One is that you don't tell anybody about this. I doubt the Director General will be pleased to hear about my little business model. And two is that you can only use the machine late at night while I'm around. That should be a given, seeing as it won't activate without my keycard, but just in case, are we agreed? Sure. It's not like I can refuse a deal. I hope this leads to good things for both of us. Well, That's enough yakking. I think if you want to take the life hold pod for a spin, step right up. No. With any 50-year can turn into a young... With this, any 50-year-old can turn into a young Japanese celebrity. There's actually a quest like that in the... One of the later Affinity quests, I think, is with Irina, Fathers and Sons. That's basically about that. A dad and a son get into the white whale in their mimeosome. Except that the dad asked for a younger mimeosome because he felt better represented, like the age he felt with and stuff like that.
It's the Ghost in the Shell story. Yes.
Alright, let's go walk around Nocturne. Let's go plant some probes and shit. Explore. Noctilum. 8%. Oh, if I recall correctly, it's an affinity mission. I find it so messed up and feel the same as the person the quest is affiliated with. I think it was an arena affinity, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, it's a whole debate, the topic in general. But I personally, what I like about it is just the fact that people of NLA were able to choose how they want to be represented. I mean, one of the main, I guess, side commentaries that you see with X, especially in the side content, is the whole, you know, that goes well with the whole debate of the nature of the soul and all that other stuff, is the simple fact of, well, identity. And people don't get to choose how they look sometimes and stuff, so it's just nice the fact that they get a chance to, I guess, choose whatever their second body wants to.
This can make all the difference.
3 in a row! Shoot to kill!
That's light! Nice! Move in and do some damage. Take this! Shadow strike!
Hold on, I'm trying to clear these piggies because I didn't want to fight these piggies, but I might as well show them who's boss.
That's time to attack. Try toppling it with gunfire.
Iron prison!
I'll topple him.
Well done!
It's more the morals of the sun and that left me confused. The way I saw it is that it's in the case of like, it seems to be like a very, very old mentality of the family and stuff like that, that once the job's done, they head back out because the job's done, so carry your own weight type of deal. And the way I interpret it of sorts is that it's maybe something that started happening when, like, you know, people were able to get their own mimeosomes. So if anything, it's, you know, something the parents did and then the child is doing the same. I haven't really read much into it because I haven't really played the game in Japanese. Because there's always stuff like that that might get lost in the Japanese writing or translation because of the customs and stuff.
You and
But that's at least like what's been my interpretation. Okay, I didn't mean to plant that probe there.
my optics green. I'm putting an end to this.
I meant to explode on some ganglion.
Fury blast. Shadow strike. Black grenade. Yeah, we're on top of it now.
My soul is made out of gummy bears? Wow, I don't know how they're gonna restore you in the life for. What do you mean I dropped it? I was pressing A when that was...
Who cares? Die.
And here comes Gabe. Bad piggies. I just cannot vouch of it. It's so archaic. I never said I vouch for it. At least with like the family sort of house rule they have. I was referring more at the NLA giving people the opportunity to just choose.
And I'm back.
Or in some way choose how their Mimosum looks like. Welcome back.
Your Mimosum? What?
Yeah, we were doing the Yardley quest that unlocks the character customization.
I see, I see.
It's a horse-eat-horse world.
No. We're here to explore. If I ignore the spider, it can't hurt me. I was expecting Xeno X to get to 60 FPS patch on Switch too, but I guess it's just fine. The game is fine as is on Switch. See, okay, the way I was sort of the way I look at it is that it's running better than it was running on my Wii U, and that's all I care.
Didn't know I was so popular.
Fuck it, I'll choose violence this time. Who wants to die?
You?
Oh, no,
Ready?
no, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight the level 50 monkey. So like, I think that the 60 FPS patch is definitely something from Switch 2. That's something I assumed was going to be the case as soon as they mentioned that this game has a flag for 60 FPS. So I expect the Switch 2 version of this upgraded version of this game to
What goodbye.
I like you. I owe you one.
is the monkey? Of course it's the funky monkey. I blame myself.
That's how to
Commentating
You can do
and micromanaging this game is harder than I thought it is, but my general thoughts with the definitive edition is if it runs at least like the Wii U version, I'm good. The fact that it runs better than the Wii U version is more than enough.
Yeah, it loads faster, runs better.
Yeah, it loads faster, it runs better, it looks better here and there. And that's all I could really ask of it. Like, for me, if a game runs at 30 frames per second, that's more than enough. I'd rather have a consistent frame rate than, like, seeing it go at 60 in some points and then 40 in others, because I find that more distracting. And given how this game, I've really pushed this game. There's a pop-in over there. To sort of push the boundaries and all. So like I much rather get this version for the Switch One because I can play it. It's better than the one on the Wii U. I don't need to go buy a Switch 2. Buying a Switch 2 is just gonna make it look slightly prettier and load possibly faster. And maybe populate more, dense up more of the world, and especially NLA with NPCs that you can see in the distance and stuff like that. At least for the exploration in the map, I never really minded
Listen up.
the whole enemies take a little bit to pop up, because I feel like it allows you to just sprint crazy and not like stumble into places. It's like a little cheese that you can do. And I just think it's like nice. I don't know how to properly explain it. I remember the Wii U game would really lag during battles with skill sometimes. I think it's still the case a bit on the Switch. I've only ran into it twice, and
Great.
who was these fucking mosquitoes?
Change things up. To the buff.
I've only seen that happen to me twice in the extensive playthroughs I've been doing on my primary save file.
Now.
And one of those just happened to be the case that I pulled a lot of enemies, and I was using super weapons, and other crazy stuff were happening at the same time.
I owe you one. I'm not clocking out yet. Heal me. I should heal up first. My adrenaline's rising.
Party started.
We're all getting through this. Shadow strike. Smooth recovery.
Alright, I'm gonna call it a quit when I'm ahead.
Repair. Screamer.
Thank you.
Screamer. Knock 'em right out of their beauty sleep. More. Didn't know I was so popular. Reinforcements. Watch out.
The running away simulator game.
Sorry.
Most of the early. Oh, come on.
I'm sorry.
What? Who? Bruh. This always happens. Whenever I'm recording. Whenever I'm recording. I can't get past that fucking... Alright, hold on. I'm... Fuck this shit. And even then, I'm not really bothered.
It's a horse-eat-horse world.
Running away is still the main gameplay mechanic of Xenoblade, I see. Yeah, but I think that with X, the moment where you reach the broken status is so much quicker than the other Xenoblade games. That it just becomes the game of how you can progressively become a stronger, broken mess to take out the bigger enemies and stuff like that. But, you know, right now I'm still in that baby starting area where I don't have a lot of options for combat in general to take out a squadron of enemies of the same level. The moment you hear the tower music by surprise is the moment you know you're done for. Couldn't explain it better myself.
Blood sacrifice. Get in close and land a blow.
Patrol chop. Wreckage. Alright, I'll go look for those later. I want to make it deeper into the forest. Just a friendly reminder for those of you who may not know in Xenoblade X, if you play as Elma, you can use the blood sacrifice to half your HP for 1,000 tension points, and that combos well with Shadowrunner, which makes you completely undetectable to enemies. So you can use that in the same way I'm doing to just sneak your way through enemies. It's such a banger. Oh no, I love the Tyrant theme. I usually look at that.
Meet the woman who's gonna wreck your life.
No, speak of it, and it shall appear. Oh my gosh. That's a level 22 big boy. Definitely. If it were a smaller body, I would try it. But with a big body like that, it's probably gonna kill me before I can kill it. Out in December, or last night, do you remember? I still think that the best thing that came out of the Xenoblade 2 DLC was the Elma crossover. And I'm not just saying that because, ha ha ha, funny, a man like Elma so much. Yes, it's more because of all the love letters that they incorporated for X. How far is this guy gonna chase me for? Holy shit. I keep forgetting that they make the distances related to the scale, so it is a bit harder to run away when you're not on one. Fernando the Immovable. Maybe I used that Shadowrunner too early. But I know that that FN site is usually... Okay, they don't seem to pay attention to me then. Sweet.
Meet the woman who's gonna wreck your life.
No, not. Fuck off, man. Fucking Taniculas or whatever. Tanicula. Just plan the pro, Velma. Sweet. Lizard died! No! No, not lizard. Fuck. Getting so overpowered later than the the Tyrant song gets replaced by the overdrive. I mean, I am currently at the point where that is certainly already a thing.
Sorry.
Oh fuck it, I'll
The
just
rest is up to you.
I'll go down. I'm gonna die probably anyways. Oh, that's farther ahead than I thought. Really? Well, I shouldn't be surprised that I can't fast travel. Right, I'm gonna get some water real quick. Gabe, you here?
Yes.
Alright, I'm gonna leave you with chat for 2 seconds.
Oh shit, you're gonna leave me with chat?
Yes.
Damn. Alright, Chad, you know what time it is? It's time to plan out how we take over the channel. Alright, who has ideas? Red Chad? Purple Chad? Come on, Chad, we only have like 2 minutes to plan this out. Do we just kidnap Samus and just send like what do you call it? A letter? There's a specific name for that, I cannot remember now. Damn. Alright, okay, chat, hear me out. Okay, okay. We tell Albert that we have all the birds in the world in a single room. All of them, like no other bird. And unless he gives his channel away, we don't release the birds. How's that? How's that for a plan? We just have to gather all the birds and put them in a single room.
Awesome. I am here.
Oh, hello there. I was not planning to take over your channel at all. We were definitely not planning on putting all the birds in the world in a single room and telling you to give up the channel if you want to release the birds.
Only. Alright, sure, I'll do it for the birds. I'll do it. For the birds, I'll do it. You can have 50,000 subscribers if you want.
Meet the woman who's gonna wreck
I know
your
I
life.
say that like if it were nothing, but it really does mean a lot to me. It's way more than I ever thought I was gonna get to when I started talking to Gabe about making a stupid YouTube
And
channel.
good night.
And he was also telling me to make a stupid YouTube channel.
Yeah, I was there.
Maybe he's scared of birds and actually wants that. Chad, there's no way I can even make a lie about that. I just really like this.
Blood sacrifice! Shadowrunner! Use an aura! Get control of the battle!
$13%.
13%?
Yes. If anything, this is going to be an easy point that we are to record the game. Because there's a lot of affinity missions that will naturally give us experience and help us explore the map. I know where we have to go. I mean, of course I know where we have to go. It's not like I've been playing this game. But it's more so that I'm going to try and plant as many probes so that when we start Chapter 6, it can just be a quick, fast travel, you know? Chat, if you played this game, who's your favorite character? Mine, you cannot guess mine. Would you even notice if the whole body was just a robot piloted by your consciousness? I guess it depends on the nature of, like, alright, if you bleed and, like, if you cut yourself and you're not bleeding, like, how about going to the toilet? I mean, there is somebody in the game actually answers asks the question in a different way during Hope's first Affinity Quest, and it's the whole can we make babies in these? The way I have imagined it is that it's some like Star Trek: The Next Generation type of thing, because like Data in that show doesn't need to eat food, but he can simulate, he can eat stuff to lubricate like the functions and the parts inside of his body, and essentially basically fulfill the same role as eating, except for different matters. So I guess that they would do something similar to the Mimiosomes, that either it converts the food that you eat into energy like an actual stomach, or they make flavored stuff. But like, I don't think it's an important question in regards to the themes of the world. But it's always the fun stuff to poke fun at. I like to imagine that in like the infinite like Elma planet and like technology that the game seems to have, and like the researchers behind NLA and Project Exodus, that a priority for the Mimiosome experience would be to replicate as much as they can from the traditional natural human body, so that A, the consciousness does not feel out of whack in a new body, especially given that we're going to be in space for who knows how long. And then second, also so that way when they return to their natural bodies, it wouldn't like feel weird and stuff like that, you know? I think my favorite character is Gajarg, because he says he wants to be an honorable battle, but then ambushes you with a whole squad. Is that in chapter 9? Because if in chapter 9 he was supposed to go and deal with the with like the humans and stuff like that, but it was Luxor who set up the ambush for him on a silver platter. He even complains about it in his mind, where he goes and says that you know, there's no fun of the sport, or no thrill, because it was handed to him on a silver platter, that when Elma challenges him, you know, he's like, all right, fine, this one speaks up more up to my speed. Not to mention that Elma went straight for his jugular in that one cutscene. I guess that's one of the many reasons I like Elma. It's just she always goes for the jugular. But Gajarg is definitely on like my S tier of characters. So happy that he's a playable character now. So yeah, he's among my favorites. So is Neil, so is Liesel, so is HB, L, Irina, Doug. I'm going through the cast in my mind. Allegra. That's probably all the way over there. He's all the way to the top. Okay, there's one more probe I can plant around here. Did you know I bought an entire hard drive just to record this game?
Yep.
It was on sale. I found a 1 terabyte external hard drive, 2 terabyte external hard drive for like about $30, $20 when I was in New York, and I went for it because I knew that this was gonna happen. That I wanted to make a big video about this, so I'd rather just have a hard drive dedicated to it. I even transferred the original Xenoblade X Wii U footage that I had. Because this was definitely not a video I wanted to make, and then I stopped working on it because of some life stuff. Now I can, but I lucked out in the end because now there's definitive edition, so it's a lot easier to record and looks way nicer. There's still some changes with the characters that I had to get used to, but like I feel that in the long run, it's probably for the better. And the main reason I want to say is for the better is because it's easier. Their phases emote and express better now, and I think it also makes it makes it a lot easier for people to make fan art and stuff like that of the characters, you know, and that'll always be a plus in my book. Because I certainly would like to see more Elma fan art. Also, Chad, just a vibe check. How many here have finished the game? I just want to make sure that anybody who's here and active, I'm not like talking over spoilers accidentally. Because I assume most people who might join probably finished the game. The only one who I know personally hasn't finished the game is Pawn in the chat. Gabe, I don't count because he finished the original one back in Wii U.
Yep.
So with Gabe, I know it's just the chapter 13 stuff. Original character models always looked a bit stiff. Yeah, that and like there was don't get me wrong, there's moments where I think they really look good. But I also think that there is a lot of it that a lot of it felt like uncanny valleyness or sort of dead eye look type of thing that I feel was circumvented by leaning more into the anime art style with the eyes and the faces in this game. But I feel it's a nice middle ground compromise with the original art style, art direction. If anything, I kind of wish they looked slightly closer to what's in the actual art book, but you know, I'm still happy with how the game looks in the end. Because, like I said, the priority for me is that the characters look good and natural in their own environment, and that it's easy to read when they're emoting, which I feel the changes in the definitive edition have certainly helped with that. The great name. Where is this link? Alright, there's somebody in chat who hasn't finished it. Good to know. I won't spoil. No, don't worry about me. Like, most of the conversations I have when I play the game is relating to where I am in the progression of the game. Or at least the file, my recording file, which this is, which is currently a post-chapter 5. But in my main primary file, I'm in the final chapter of the new content. I should just specify.
Oh, Shai Hulut, hello. Thank you for gracing me with your presence.
It's a shame I never got into the beta for the Dune Awakening game. Did you get in, Gabe?
Say what?
The Dune Awakening.
No, I didn't. Too many games coming out, and Elden Ring Night Rain is a little bit more of the priority.
Yeah, definitely my my priority is games like Elden Ring. Like my pecking order was certainly this because This YouTuber streamer makes the bid about Xenoblade X on Switch for 10 years. It finally happens. In Prime 4, because I've been waiting for that since I was fucking in high school. Not even high school, I was in middle school. I know, I finished it on Wii U, just haven't played the new content on Switch. Yeah, that's the thing I was trying not to talk about. But it's good to know. Then if I say purple and point towards the screen, you would be able to know what I'm talking about. 10 years of waiting for more Elma, yes, and gosh, it was so worth it, and at the same time not so worth it, because if anything, I'm surprised people haven't bullied me more with Elma.
Well, with Elma?
Yeah. I even made a silly YouTube video about why Elma should be a character in Smash Brothers, because I really like the moveset that much. I would really like Monolith to make a Xenoblade X too. It doesn't necessarily need to be more of like Elma and the characters. Like, okay, hold on. Let me rephrase that. I would love more Elma, but I wouldn't be sad if it's not more Elma and it's more ideas, because I'm always the type of guy who wants to promote new ideas. And the reason I'm asking is just because like this is my favorite gameplay style of all the Xenoblade games. You got some Elma for Xenoblade 2. Yeah, I have this tier list. It's got, you have for Xenoblade games. My tier list for Xenoblade games is very simple. Xenoblade X and Xenoblade X Definitive Edition are in my S tier. Xenoblade 2 and Xenoblade 1 are in my A tier. No, sorry, Xenoblade 2 is in my A tier. And then 1 and 3 and everything else is on like the D tier.
Wait, Xenoblade 2 is higher than Xenoblade 3?
Yes.
And Xenoblade 1?
Yes.
Because of Elma?
Yes.
Alright, now without Elma, where do you put Xenoblade 2?
The very bottom. It's my least favorite.
Alright. There you go, Chad.
Gabe was like, no, hold on.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let you fly that one, Chief.
That one ain't gonna... Not on my watch.
I've got a bad feeling.
Oh, shit.
Myopic screen!
This guy's trying to jump me.
Appreciate it. Slimer! Weaken it! Blood sacrifice! Ghost festering! Thank you!
Appreciation.
Shadow strike! Realm armor! I owe you one. Follow me! I'm on
I'm sorry,
the way.
Brian. Dorfion is taking a break. Elma's on screen.
Wild slash.
Leon.
Shooting star.
Now close the gap!
If I had overdrive, sure, I'll do it, but
Myopic
I
screen!
don't. That guy always jumps me. I played Prime Remaster lately, and god, that freaking control tower artifact was really bad. How I was supposed to see that ice patch. Are you talking about the one in Fendrana's Edge?
Unbelievable.
Or the one, or the Space Pirate one? It's my only gripe. Otherwise, I think it's fantastic. I'm assuming it's the pirate one, just because you said control power. Can Dorfion stay in break indefinitely? Upon yes, on one condition: you stop bullying my lizard. Don't worry. Dorfion cannot hurt you. Elma is distracting. Elma is making sure that Orpheon stays in control and Dorfion can show up. Okay. Wow, you agreed to that much easier than I thought you were. Here I was preparing an entire mental negotiation, but sure, I'll take it.
Yeah, don't do that for me.
So, Fun is like, my work here is done. There we go. Survey rate 21%. Sweet. It's in Fendrana. Okay, yeah, but it's the one in the space pirate base where you get like the thermal visor. You have to shoot at the tower for it to fall, right? I'm assuming it's that one. Xenoblade gave us crabs and spiders with ball sacks. What else could you possibly ask for? You forgot the chickens with the ball sacks in their chin. That you find running around in Primoria and stuff. Yeah, I know it's in Fendrana, but there's like 3 artifacts in Fendrana, and 2 of them have to do with an icy tower. So there's the one that you... I'm just trying to pinpoint the one. To sort of like play devil's advocate and just see how you could have probably figured that out. Okay, so yeah, it's that one. See, okay, because like it's so funny for me. Because as I mentioned in my... sorry for the long paragraphs of lore. Bray, you have to understand that I'm trying to read it. And like all this other stuff. I think that moving forwards, Brian, if it's for feedback for story and stuff, either I'm gonna need like a bullet point version that I can easily read and give feedback back, or like a Google Docs that I can just... Alright, Albert, I wrote this, here's the Google Doc, here's the link, go read it whenever you have the chance, and that way the DMs don't get flooded. Because it also makes it hard for me to catch up with all the topics that we might want to talk and stuff like that. It's not to say that I'm not interested, it's just that maybe that way my phone is not getting like 15 notifications. Because the last thing I want is to not reply to people, and especially people who I consider friends and stuff. The shark's jaw. Somebody tell Collector. Alright, so the thing I was going to say with Prime's artifacts, and the same can apply with the others, is that I actually had to do those as a kid without, like, the internet. And without... It was even hidden by a big box. Oh, okay. I see. Now, okay, I see what you mean. So like, I had to figure those out as a kid without, like, the internet tell me, oh, you just go here and you do that and call it a day. So I guess I'm lucky enough that I had that intended experience that the developers may have wanted to have. So I literally went to the Chozo Temple in like the Great Temple, and I scanned those and I read the clues, and then I just looked for the rooms in the map, and then once I was in the room, I just played around and figured stuff out. For me, it was funny because as a kid, I really explored every single nook and cranny of the rooms because I thought that there was a power-up somewhere, and like I remember going to those boxes and shooting the thing, thinking that there's a power-up behind them. And then when I read the Chozo Artifact clue and I went there, it kind of made sense in my brain. It's mostly that I did it, when I was a kid, I had to do it the intentional way that the developers did it. I guess I could buy the strategy guide, but that
comes from experience. That's true on any planet.
Sorry, I didn't want to talk over Elma. That meant...
Mom, can you drive me to the library to see if they have the Metroid Prime strategy guide so you can buy it for me?
And I can definitely tell you that where I was living when that game came out, there was certainly no one selling the strategy guide. And the copies of Club Nintendo didn't have like the maps or stuff like that for Prime yet. They only had them for Fusion. So like I did go ahead with the clues and all that other stuff, and that's kind of what I like it a lot about it, is that it's like I always saw it as a kid as the ultimate challenge to my Metroid abilities. That made more sense as like the great challenge that of what makes a Metroid game than any final boss that you put into it. So like I always enjoy that because I liked walking the world of Talon 4 and stuff like that and finding secrets. So I guess I'm certainly the 1% of the player base who really likes the ideas of the scavenging hunt in a Metroid game. and you know, especially the Metroid Prime ones. But I know I'm in the minority of that, so I always just try and offer the why it didn't bother me as much / why I had fun with it as a kid. It's usually my favorite part of the game. I'm not even gonna lie. When I'm replaying the game, it's just, yeah, it's the artifact hunting because it now the planet feels like a sandbox, like Mira, where you can go anywhere and not be restricted by your abilities. And it's just finding the ultimate secrets that the developers could hide in the planet. Here's some clues. Go have a Gurgurt. Have fun playing with a Phazon suit and the plasma beams that you just acquired. Versus.
Oh, okay, I got the Phazon suit, and now I got to have to go fight Ridley, and the game is over. Hooray!
Which is kind of what happens in Dread. In most of the other 2D games. So, like, I like it that in this case there's an extra challenge that feels like the proper end goal challenge that you could naturally put into a Metroid game. And test your knowledge of how much you've been paying attention to details and blah 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 blah. In this 3-hour YouTube video, I will make it so. Yeah, that's why I'm trying to work on the Google Docs thing, but it isn't really easy on my phone. I don't think threads work either. I mean, I'm assuming that if you're working it on your phone, it's because you don't have a computer. But most of the time when I ask for creative feedback, I usually send everything in like a Google Slide or Google Doc that is like no more than 5 pages or less, explaining the core stuff in a bullet point way so that the other person who is reading the idea can immediately understand what's my idea, where am I pulling inspiration from, why do I need it in the story, and what else can it add to my story by having it, so that way I know if it's good or not before I continue exploring and stuff. But you know that there's no right or wrong answers with how to do these things. I've just found that this way works better for me. And you know the usual issue is that if I respond to your DMs of the silly chat talk, and I will forget to read the other thing later, because in my brain I'll be like, all right, we're chatting, and then all that stuff happens. And I definitely don't want to be the guy who's just like, oh, hey Albert, here's something I wrote that I poured my heart and soul into, or my, because I know like the feeling of putting your part of yourself into your work, that I don't want to just ignore it. With that said, I'll take this opportunity to say that I read most of it. I think it works fine. I just think that you need to maybe put it into a bullet point format and how everything correlates into the story at this point, you know? Like, I see the big picture. Now it's about the smaller picture and your character journey and struggles in that particular world. The biggest challenge in Prime is transportation. The game is big, but not that big, so it takes a lot of effort to navigate from one place to the next, or backtrack. Yeah, definitely. I don't like navigating in Fendrenas too much because of the dark areas, the thermal vision in particular, not comfortable too. Yeah, I mean, I can understand from the differences of I've been playing this game. I don't know how long people have been playing Metroid Prime, but I personally have been playing it for forever.
Listen.
You know, I've been playing it consistently since it came out on the GameCube. To know most of the things.
Use this strength to keep everyone safe.
And most of the maps, so that like I can navigate it without having to use the thermal visor. With that said, I totally understand people's perspectives and opinions and all that other stuff. I think that the world in Metroid Prime is big enough to the point that you have that in between where fast backtracking can feel annoying because of the world, yet at the same time it's not that long of a trip, or you can start collecting a lot of other items in your way from one to the other. Not to mention that, you know, Morph Ball and the speed boost make traveling a lot faster than going on foot. But also, it's the fact... But yeah, freaking, like, I also do the same, where I collect a lot of the Chozo artifacts before I fight the Omega Pirate, but, like, you know, first-time player will definitely not have that as a hindsight to do so. So, that's why when I do those videos, I always assume, alright, well, how was it the first time I did it? And then, how has that issue been circumvented by the 20-plus years of playing the game? And the reason I say yes, it's been circumvented, is because, as Crick had said, if I had known where the Chozo artifacts are ahead of time, I realized that I could have stumbled upon them or collect them way earlier than the scavenger hunt. And because of that, it makes replays a lot more enjoyable and fun, because, like, you could collect a lot of it before you have to do the final, the Omega Pirate even, you know? I'm not saying that's a foolproof solution that just completely hand waves the issue people are having, and I still think that the issue that people are having is a valid complaint and problem. But I feel that at times people just go a little bit too hard on it with the... I don't like the backtracking in my Metroid game, but that's kind of the point of the game. It's exploring and how you're supposed to explore without backtracking. I mean, I guess you can explore without having to backtrack. But the backtracking is what makes the world feel alive with me. Because I'm seeing more of it. I'm seeing it again, and it gets ingrained into my brain between the wildlife of the lore, the vistas, and stuff like that versus...
Oh, I was there once, and the stage was so fun. Time to move on to the next thing.
And then I never forget, and then I forget about it later. You know? It's a matter of opinions and taste, I'm aware. I don't have a computer, sadly, but that's the... I've been saying up for a while, spells and classes. I had an old computer, but unfortunately blue screen. Thankfully, I didn't place files of the project in there. Yeah, that's also why I keep most of my files on cloud... most of the important stuff on cloud services, because that shit's never gonna go down. I still love the game. I think it's fantastic. Oh, no, totally. I think you can love a game and still have issues with it. Even if you had issues with it, please do not... I don't want my...
Ha ha ha, Albert defends the game. Eat shit.
As, like, me telling people, like, no, you're wrong. It's more like, alright, I'm trying to offer a different opinion. Just cause, you know? I'd rather form a conversation, and I feel that, like, by at least offering a different opinion, I can maybe help people see stuff in a different light that might make them appreciate something otherwise.
I don't know how to English today, perdóname. Se me olvidó el
You will
inglés.
never learn how to English.
I will never know how to English, no.
Alright, there is a probe I can plant nearby here. I'm just gonna do that, and even though the story won't ever take us there. My suggestion for you, Brain, would be you can still use Google Docs on your phone. What I do when I have to type stuff on my phone is that I just use the speech-to-text feature, so I just tell it what I wanted to write. I feel that, funny enough, the ChatGPT built-in feature on the phone that you talk to it and it like turns your speech into text works better than the one on my regular phone. So I usually do that. I don't even put it as a prompt. I just tell it the thing so that it writes it down for the prompt, and then I just copy paste it onto my Google Drive using my phone because I don't like texting on my phone. The game feels a bit like the second Star Wars trilogy a bit, especially Tatooine and the Chozo ruins. I'd see more of the original Star Wars trilogy. Tatooine is there. Then you go to Fendrana, which is like Hoth. Phazon Mines could be seen kind of like the, you know, the Death Star slash Imperial Star Destroyer bases and stuff like that. Talon Overworld is your Forest Moon of Endor type of thing. I like backtracking when it's done right. I discover a new hidden place in the same area, plus excuse for me to visit my favorite area in the game. Yeah, I like backtracking, in part because of that. In Xenoblade X's defense, it's one of the Xenoblade games that does this best. Because, like, take, for example, in the original, backtracking to Colony 9 feels more like going out of your way to fast travel and do the Colony 9 side quest than in X, where you're always supposed to be doing missions that progress humanity forwards in their research of NLA and survival on Mira, which will have you exploring uncharted regions of the continents that you already explored. And naturally do side quests and stuff like that. I'll try it. Also, is World, Anvil, or Obsidian available on mobile? I know of Obsidian because it's the one I use, and yes, it's on mobile. With the $4 subscription service, you can make it so that you can have all your Obsidian files sort of be updated between systems, but the reason I would recommend Google Docs over Obsidian right now is because unless you're paying for the subscription, which is $4, then all those Obsidian files will be permanently locked into your phone. So if something happens to your phone, your Obsidian files goes with it, I believe. So Obsidian is free otherwise, but the free version does not let you sync up to the cloud to back up your files that way, which is why I was recommending Google Docs, because it just naturally does that. Most people already have a Gmail, and you can a lot of plugins and stuff that can make navigating through that Google Doc easy and convenient. Like, I've used Google Docs and what do you call it? Google Slides for my my world building stuff, my placeholders and references for the things I'm writing, and then I usually make it clean on something like Obsidian, which I have a tablet for, and then once every 2 weeks I back it up into the a cloud drive, because you can manually grab the files from Obsidian to make your own manual backups of it. Fortunately, I just think that you know, it's very different when I'm doing it in a computer because I'm backing it up somewhere else. It's not in my computer. I'm going to bed. Night, guys. Good night. Thank you for tuning in onto the stream and chatting.
Night, night, friend.
Hope to see you soon. It's not like I'll probably end the stream also soon anyways. We did the things that I wanted to do, and I streamed for a fairly good amount of time. Alright. Yeah, I think I might call it a stream. I'm just looking at the time. Holy shit. I gotta go.
Yeah.
I have to go do exercise. But, yeah, tomorrow there'll be a stream. There'll be a Unica stream. And I'll have to finish a game first before I start doing that. Well, you could always just, like, do what I do and write it down on your bullet points. I would still just recommend the Google Drives because it's going to make your life a whole lot easier in putting into paper and then sending that to ask people for feedback than, like, us keep discussing it over, you know, 10 giant paragraph messages on Discord that are interlaced with 6 or so silly chit-chat things here and there, you know? And then that way you're also forcing yourself to put your ideas more into paper and think about it, and I feel that by having it in a format that makes it easy to share will force you to be more critical about your thinking and planning and creativity stuff. I definitely did not mean to jump down, but oh well.
No, you did.
But now that I have you here, and saying this because I think it's easier for me to talk about it rather than write about it. I think that what you have is pretty good as is. I think that you are having a clear vision and purpose of why you have the things that you want to have in the story and how they might play and all these other things. Now I feel like it's more of a connecting the dots of how this, once again, goes back to the story that you're trying to tell and that of your main protagonist and their catalyst. So that way you can then start working on the story. So I feel like what you wrote is fine as is. I wouldn't be able to give you more feedback until you put it all together like in a Google Doc and give me more to maybe give an opinion, because it's just world building. But what makes world building tricky to supply feedback for is when you don't know more about the characters or their stories and the intended goals that you're trying to do with the narrative. But like I said, I think that now that you have these, you can easily just move on to the Google Drive part of it. I'll plant one more probe for the road, or die trying.
Just because I want to see more Elma, yes.
We saw this coming.
Sweet. More levels.
What level are we?
More level up.
Okay, one level away from Neil now. The other Neat. Oh, where's the... I guess the oh, is that? Well, there's a probe over there. That's the one I wanted to go anyways.
Shadow Runner, use an aura. Get control of the battle.
I'm gonna plant this probe.
I've been working more on the F-Zero video. So far up to Jack 11. I'm trying to put the sort of self-imposed date of sorts to be somewhere close to the release of the Switch Online on the GameCube. Because F-Zero is going to be one of the main titles that comes out with that, so... that sort of is the current ideal deadline I'm giving myself. But if I can't make it due to work or other things, then like, you know, I'm not gonna lose sleep. I'd rather really take my time and do something that is worth something that I can be proud of later down the line. Which is part of the reason I'm not doing any more Metroid Prime 4 trailer reaction reviews. I'd rather just...
Hey chat, let's go talk about it together on stream. And then I'll just
upload that clip onto the YouTube. Because it's less editing for me. So it's more time I can spend on working on the actual, like, Orpheon videos. And then it also allows me to actually, you know, discuss ideas with you guys. Maybe you'll notice things that I didn't notice, or the other way around, and we can, like, bounce ideas. Then just, oh, I went into the... and then the last thing is that, you know, I never really liked the whole, I went into, oh, new Metroid trailer is out. Instead of being excited and just being able to brain rot about it with my friends of how cool it is and call it a day, I have to now see it as work and get my butt into the room and write a script and then get my butt into the, like, closet that I used to record and sweat all that to record a script and then export the audio and do all that stuff as fast as I can so that it can be out while the topic is still relevant. And like, I did that chase for Samus Returns and Metroid Dread. I didn't, you know, the channel didn't really grow at all. I didn't gain anything out of it aside from, you know, the realization that I wasn't getting that creative reward that I that I was yearning for, or that I seek out with making videos. Is part of it is because it'd be fun for me to edit or talk about and stuff like that. And the fact that I had to chase a super arbitrary deadline because of the algorithms promoting it, because it's the newest thing on the blog, was just not fulfilling that. So I told myself that, you know, I'm doing it, I'm sacrificing some of my time because maybe this will help the channel grow. Maybe I'll gain a little bit more income that will allow me to invest more in the channel towards the future. If that were the case, then yeah, fuck it, I'll do it even if I don't like it, because it's, you know, sometimes you gotta do the dirty work to help things grow for the future. But none of that happened, so I'd rather, for the case of Prime 4, especially being a game that I'm so excited for, just do it that way. Especially because the times that I've been able to discuss it with you guys on stream, it ends up making for more fun videos, and I feel that this way also people get like my true blind sort of honest opinions on the matter. I haven't had the chance to sit down and write a script and look at the trailer 50 times to make up my opinions on it. Here's what I think. If it's like a review or stuff, then yeah, it's certainly different. I wouldn't want my first impressions of a game be the sole thing I review, but
You know how it is. Yes. Hello, this is new voice, Jack of Cat. How are you doing? I'm doing very much fine. Yes.
Jack of cards.
Jack of Cats.
alright, that's some other nice just running around footage that I don't have to record for later.
Looks like we've got no choice.
I don't care if you kill me. I'm ending my stream anyways. Goodbye.
What a nice hot welcome.
Fucking L. Alright. Well, this is where I'm gonna definitely call it for a stream. It was fun. I did some, not so much of the recording, but some much needed exploration. I think that maybe for future streams, I'll do that sort of off screen, so that way we can spend more time doing actual content of the game. But, you know, that's part of Xenoblade X. It's part of the reason I have so much fun with it. It's just the whole walking around with friends. And by friends, I mean in-game friends, I guess. You're playing one of your faves, I see. Yes, I was playing one of my favorites. So happy with the definitive edition. I'm recording footage so that I can make a video review about it, because, like, gosh, I really... Replaying it on Switch after so long since the Wii U one only helped me realize how much I really like this. So does Helma have superhuman durability, or is gravity different on this planet? Well, that'd be an interesting question, because
On a different planet.
I guess it's a bit of both, because we are not in human bodies. In the last chapter, we saw that the people of NLA have their consciousness transferred into robots, so they could survive their journey through space without aging. So they're mimiosums right now. So I guess that your question would be even more. I don't think Google Sites in my region. Do you mean Google Presentations? Maybe they changed it the name. It's sort of like Google's version of Microsoft PowerPoint. But yeah, I'm gonna call it a stream here. I gotta go do my exercise, but we'll probably stream tomorrow. Time to be decided for the Monday to Wednesday. For these days, is really gonna be like, all right, I don't have work, or I gotta work early. Maybe I'll stream a little bit because I'm starting to work remotely. So we'll keep it like that for now. So yeah, with all that said, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm still working on the other 2 non-Metroid videos for now, so hope you look forward to those. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the stream.
Bye-bye.